Solana. Here's a daily chart of Solana. Solana had a big wedge pattern, big consolidation, broke out. We're re-wedging right now. We should break out again into year end to follow that liquidity pattern, banana zone. Ethereum. This is the weekly chart of Ethereum. The weekly chart of Ethereum hasn't yet broken out, but it's very close. So whether we break out this month, which is my hunch, and then maybe retest in the January pullback from liquidity, or we pull back here for a bit and then explode through afterwards. Either way, that chart, that wedge pattern, to me is one of the most powerful patterns in all of crypto and suggests we've got a very big move in Ethereum to come. The other thing that I look at is I look at the cross rates between various crypto to try and pick the strongest one. I've already shown that Solana is very strong and it's expected to keep going higher. But when I compare SUI against Solana, it's starting to break out from this inverse head and shoulders pattern, which suggests to me that I would switch more assets from Solana into SUI. That's not saying Solana is going to go down. In fact, I think Solana does extremely well, and you should be overweighted there because it is a second cycle, more proven protocol, while SUI is newer and riskier. But it looks like the alpha is going to come from the new token, the new performer of SUI. And we can hear Adani talking about this later today when Chris Bullock interviews him about SUI. To show another interesting chart that I quite like is XRP has been super strong. But really, what we've seen is the upward trend of SUI outperformance. We hit the bottom of the trend channel, and we're likely to outperform XRP going forwards again in that ongoing relative outperformance. Again, that's not saying XRP goes down, but I'm just giving you the perspective of these cross rates so you understand the nuance of markets, because really a lot of people have too much assets spread across too many things. When you start comparing one asset to the other, you can actually narrow it down and concentrate your bets into bets that really matter. A lot of the time you think, oh, I want a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of this because that's going up and that's going up and that's breaking out. You actually underperform by doing that. I found that being more concentrated in my bets, using the don't fuck this up thesis, which is have, let's say, 80 or 90% in the main tokens. And those would be Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Then you can have weightings in whatever you choose it to be, where you think you're going to find outperformance, including some memes, which should be a much smaller part of your portfolio because you're likely to get wrecked. You'll have fun doing so, but you're likely to get wrecked. Okay, next chart, XRP itself, fabulous pattern. Look at wedge after wedge after wedge after wedge. So we're just building another wedge now, ready for the next break higher. So that move is clearly not done. If you look at the weekly chart of XRP, it's a stunner. This massive 7-year wedge is broken. Who knows where this chart goes to? It's very powerful. But then go back to that chart of SUI versus XRP, and it's suggesting that SUI should even outperform this. So that's the perspective I have. Now, it's not always going to be 100% right, but that's how I look at it.
Solana is making waves with its dramatic plunge to $190 per coin, echoing suspense throughout financial corridors. Yet, amidst this dizzying descent, there emerges a glimmer of hope, a potential bounce indicative of the same trajectory that once elevated Ethereum to new heights. As whispers of a $340 Solana circulate within the trading community, figures like Raoul Pal have come out to speak about the future of Solana. Welcome back to Investocracy Crypto.
Here's SUI Solana. So we've been consolidating the wedge. We had the huge outperformance, consolidation, breakout, retest the breakout zone. Next leg should be SUI's favor because of the long-term chart. And this is the weekly chart. And you saw the daily chart earlier with the inverse head and shoulders, stuff like that. So there's a lot of great charts that are lining up that say banana zone. In meme land, whiff, dog whiff hat, inverse head and shoulders, broke out, retest, next leg higher should come shortly. Jupiter. So Jupiter is it's kind of a leverage bet on Sol because it's a DEX on Sol, so more Sol activity, more Jupiter goes up. So it's broken out as well and looks very positive. These kind of wedge patterns that we see are immensely powerful. So this is beta to Sol. Another one that did a very similar pattern was MOG. It had exactly the same wedge, and then it exploded higher, and it's been exploding higher since as it ended up getting listed on the major exchanges. So again, you can see these patterns. They're human behavior on a chart, and they don't all happen at the same time. This is the hard thing about the banana zone, is different things pop at different times, and you've always, trust me, always got the feeling you've got the wrong token. Then yours pumps, and then something else pumps, and you're like, do I chase this one? Have I got it wrong? Stick with your program. You'll probably get it right over time if you use the don't fuck this up thesis of asset allocation. So don't worry, FOMO is a natural part of this market. The real temptation is to chase every breakout. Don't do that, because they roll over time, they repeat the same patterns, but they're not all 100% in the same phase. The other one that's an absolute stunner of a chart is Doge. Doge just keeps doing the same thing every cycle. It does consolidation, 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 explosion. Consolidation, 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 explosion. The explosion is always the banana zone, and Doge is the strongest characteristic of the banana zone. It's this massive meme that gets the world's attention. It has been going since 2013, and it has been unstoppable. And look at the breakout levels. Now, if we repeat anything like we did the last two banana zone periods, we've got a hell of a ride to come. So Doge is something that I keep a close focus on. And again, once we zoom down to the shorter term time horizon, Doge, and again, this is slightly out of date, this is from yesterday, but Doge is wedging yet again. These wedges are fabulous patterns in bull markets or bear markets, depending which way you're looking at, but they consolidation, the pause that refreshes, next leg higher. So we're expecting any day now, digestion of a little bit of the move we had with Bitcoin going to 104,000, consolidate, then something will break. I don't know what it was. Sui broke yesterday, broke to the upside. Now it's consolidating. Maybe it's Doge tomorrow. And this rolling breakouts is how it happens. Then consolidation. And as people build confidence, we start moving into, okay, bigger correction to come.
The SOL crypto is at a pivotal point, a double bottom chart pattern unfolding like a well-written script at the $190 mark. This technical formation, akin to a harbinger of bullish reversals, is setting traders on a keen watch towards breaching $210. The likelihood of an upsurge reminiscent of Ethereum's past success stirs excitement, though investors know full well that caution is the steadfast friend of wisdom in crypto forms.
So we can see these banana zone periods as they start appearing. Bitcoin just does this every time, like Doge does. So we've just broken that part of the cycle. So this is the start of the banana zone as we start accelerating higher. Going back to liquidity, here's Global M2. You see, Global M2 does this a lot. It also wedges. I love a wedge. They're the best chart patterns in the world. And what happens is it has a break higher, then this consolidation. It's happened every time we've got to the banana zone period, the kind of US election cycle, stuff like that. So we've done that. We've corrected the breakout. Now, Global M2 is actually driven by the strength of the dollar. Now, the dollar has started to weaken. We expect it to weaken going forwards, and that will then reignite the next phase of the banana zone as we start bouncing higher. You can see those corrections in M2 were short. Now, the reason being is we've got to roll all of this global liquidity. We've got massive amounts of debt to roll over, and you need liquidity to do it. So that is the game, the big game, the everything code game that I've talked to you about. So the everything code game is very much at play. This is a phase, the early phase of the breakout. This year is the year of liquidity, and that's why the year ahead, and that's why the banana zone plays out so beautifully.
A breach past 210 could see Solana touching 230, then 245, with a vision set as high as 340 if the bullish winds favor it. Raoul Pal, a prudent analyst, envisions a steady climb, cautioning that the market must judge Solana's resilience at this critical juncture. A retreat below $190 could cause doubt to cloud the optimistic horizon. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Now, obviously, we know if the economy starts underperforming forecasts, like we just saw the unemployment rate rise to 4.2%. Once we start to see things like that happening, what happens is people start thinking about we need to cut rates more. So that's a very interesting thing. So here in white is rate cuts priced in. Very few rate cuts priced in. So there's like, I don't know what the scale is here, but there's very little rate cuts priced in, but it's driven on a forward basis by the dollar and the long end. So it's now saying, as we weaken economic growth, we should start to see rate cuts. And then, as you can see, we're starting to see the pickup again in financial conditions, which is important, and I'll come into that in a minute. So when you put it all together, they're all the same thing. Fed rate cuts, the DXY, 10-year bond yields, they're all highly mirroring each other. 10-year bond yields seem to be suggesting faster and faster that the dollar should roll over and rates should roll over too.
Wrapping up this exhilarating saga, one can't help but sense the potential Solana holds as it stands on the brink of resurgence. Current technical signs suggest a strong groundswell, whereas the broader market fervor increasingly plays in Solana's favor, perhaps even securing a seat at the table once dominated by Ethereum. But what do you think? Share your thoughts. And finally, if you would like to know more about cryptocurrencies or specifically Bitcoin, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.